Welcome back into the ASUG News Studio. My name is Tom Whalegum, one of the co-hosts of the ASUG News broadcast here live at SBOUC 2013. Well, we're delighted to have back in the studio James Fisher, the incomparable James Fisher, live down here, not in Orlando. He's in Anaheim.
Not in Orlando, this is good.
Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
James, what is it that you do at SAP? Let's talk a little about that, and then we got some very cool announcements to talk about today.
Sure. So I'm responsible for product marketing for the entire analytics business at SAP worldwide. So that's everything from the business intelligence solutions right away across through to our governance, risk, compliance, and performance management solutions as well.
Analytics is hot at SAP, so you're in a good spot.
Well, I've been working with in the analytics business now for about 15, 16 years, very closely associated with business objects and SAP, and there's just a huge momentum, a real kind of community of people that are looking at analytics and finding new things to do with it, and it's an exciting place to be.
And this is, where else do you want to be but somewhere like here, where it's just such a hot topic?
Well, absolutely. I mean, you've only got to look around. The buzz, the excitement, the passion that all of the various contributors have in the entire community here at ASUG and across North America is extremely special. It's a great place to be.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get into some good stuff. Three primary areas that I think it's worthwhile for people to know of analytics strategy, SAP's analytics strategy. Can you talk just a little bit about those, what they are?
Sure. Well, I think you saw the keynote this morning that Christian presented. I mean, we've really been looking at the analytics business over the course of the last 18 months, and actually since we were here a year ago, the last ASUG event. And I think we've seen that the analytics portfolio has evolved, it's changed, and we need to continue to focus our investments. So we're really focusing our analytics story and our go-to-market and the innovation strategy that we're driving around three kind of primary pillars. The first of those is enterprise business intelligence, and that's really the foundation. Business Objects was founded in 1990, and would I say Business Objects invented BI? That's probably a claim that some other analysts, Howard Dresner and so, probably would challenge. But I think we made business intelligence real for many, many thousands of customers around the world. So it's our foundational starting point for our analytics journey. But we're really now considering how we evolve that, and looking at the space around agile visualization, really being able to give not just the analyst, the business analyst, the data scientist, strong analytic capabilities, but to give everybody analytics capabilities, and then into advanced analytics, predictive analytics as well. Again, making that a more pervasive, forward-looking part of what we do is critically important. I mean, I wrote a blog on a couple of weeks back talking about my role coming from a history of working in the finance organization to my role now as responsible for analytics, product marketing at SAP. And actually, I'm a great example of the type of person that should be using all three of these categories in their day-to-day job.
Absolutely. Well, one of the interesting things I was talking earlier with another guest about, make actually BI for everyone. And some of the new products are a little bit more for, may say, business analysts. But that doesn't really remove any of the need for easy to use, cool dashboarding, things like that. I mean, really, products that can span to the mass of people, right? I mean, there's still that need, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I think one of the advantages when we think about these three categories that we have at SAP is that we're able to do all three. So you have that foundation, you have the platform, which gives you that ability to then expand and build upon. And I think that's critically important, because as more and more people across the organization start using analytical tools, you can end up with kind of shadow IT functions. You can end up with kind of the madness of uncontrolled use of analytics. And while there's value in everybody having access to analytics, I think it needs to be part of a broader strategy. So using that platform and being able to bring it all together to allow people to collaborate to what we call collective insight, I think is critically important.
I think you would agree that the analytics market is very hot. You guys, SAP is not alone in developing products for this. What is SAP doing to differentiate itself from the pack, and what does SAP need to do better?
So I think there are a couple of things. I think, as I said, we look at analytics and we're focusing our innovation around these three core pillars: enterprise BI, agile visualization, and advanced predictive analytics. When I look at the market, there are a lot of individual vendors out in the space that can do different pieces of this. I think the unique advantage that we have is that we're able to do all three of these things. And we're able to deploy those to customers, whether on any device, on any platform. We've got the industry experience that supports all of that. So I think that's a huge advantage for us. I think one of the things that we need to continue to do is to continue to listen to our customers. I think I said this a year ago. I was new into the role. I was very determined that we should really engage with a dialogue with our customers, because that expertise of deploying these solutions, using them on a day-to-day basis, is really a huge advantage. That's the knowledge base that we're able to leverage. 40,000 business objects customers.
Right.
We know huge numbers of customers now moving into the SAP Lumira solution. So getting that feedback and being able to use that is critically important. I think we need to continue to do that.
One of the things I've heard here, and some people talking about, is that you guys offer everything is amazing, but also it can be confusing or overly complex because the platform is so wide and deep, and maybe there's some confusion. Is education, really educating the customers, a part of your mission going forward as exactly what each of those pillars can do, what the products are in, how the roadmap rolls out?
Absolutely. I mean, we've invested a lot of our time in terms of our roadmaps as we're looking at this new go-to-market, this new positioning around the idea of collective insight, and around these three pillars. We're completely reworking and revitalizing all of those roadmaps. We have statement of direction, which we have brought really to this event. Yep. as a foundation. We're building that out in terms of the roadmaps across each of those pillars, and it's then about communication. But it's not a one-way dialogue. It's not a case of us just talking to our customers. I think in this morning's opening session, someone made a comment about the number of ASUG webcasts that are focusing on the analytic topic. Something like half of them, if I remember
Yep.
rightly. So that's great. That's an important part of the dialogue. But we have to facilitate that feedback. So that investment in terms of education, but also that feedback loop with our design thinking workshops is critically important, and that's something that we want to communicate more and more.
Absolutely. What do you guys hear from customers who have jumped in the water with analytics and are having successful deployments? What do they do differently that other people may not do, or have not had that kind of level of success? We've heard some amazing success stories during Christian's and Adam's. What do they do as an organization in their embrace of analytics to get that success?
Well, I get asked this question quite a lot. Where should analytics be used? Who should use it? And I think it all comes down to the use case, right? And I think it comes down to being able to define a really solid use case, call it a business case if you will, and that really creates the basis for which you can then build value into the business processes you're running, build value into the teams that you're working with, and ultimately by which you can then measure success. And I think those strong business cases, those strong use cases, come between really great partnership between the IT function and a particular line of business. I mean, I spent a lot of time working in the performance management space, as you know, and historically people would say, well, which are the most successful projects? Are those that are run by finance or those that are run with IT? And I think it's the same for analytics. Those projects that have great partnership between IT and the business tend to be, in my opinion, much more successful.
You're here at this event. Many times you traveled the globe going to events. What do you look for, or what do you want to hear when you come to an event like this? I mean, we both have talked about our ASUG Business Object members are honest, they're objective, they'll tell you like it is. So I'm wondering, what feedback is SAP looking for now on their analytics?
I think there are a couple of areas. I think there's the pure functional requirements. What are the things that customers are looking for us to deliver in the product? We saw some previews this morning of the new version 12 of the Lumira solution with the storyboarding and the dashboarding capability. That's a direct result of feedback that people have given us that we want to incorporate in our products and our solutions. But also I want to hear feedback about the dialogue. Are we communicating things in the right way? Are we engaging customers in the right way? Is the message resonating? These are all the things that are important to me. And again, a year ago we said we were going to come, we were going to be more open, we were going to be more social, we were going to be communicating just more accessible. So I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's town hall session. I know we've spent a lot of time, you'll be part of that. That's for me just the next evolution of this dialogue.
I think too, as we saw at the Influencer Summit yesterday, the level of SAP representation there was the top tier where they are. So it was really great to see. I know that SAP is taking the messages that they're hearing very seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were obviously thrilled to be able to participate in yesterday's event, in a much more embraced way than we were previously, right? Yes. The idea of being outside the room and coming in and getting a list of feedback at the end.
I wish we had some cameras for that.
Well,
event. That would have been, I mean, just to show the transition up until yesterday when it was, there's not enough for them. It's we're their team, you know?
Absolutely, the kind of the before and the after
Yep.
after picture. But again, that's about dialogue, right? I think we've got to all be part of the conversation. And I think that we realize that there are challenges, that things that we need to address, right? We can paint a vision for what collective insight means, but unless we can help our customers really get the basics right with their enterprise BI deployment, the work that's gone into Forward at One in terms of making it the platform it is, we need to do all of those things.
4.1 is out. Very excited. We were GA today.
Absolutely.
What's expectations for SAP with that? I mean, still there's some laggards out there who haven't gone to 4, and so you're hoping that some of the new functionalities that might entice some of those people that were waiting, or you think it's those people are going to go to 4.0 when they're ready?
Well, it's interesting. I know I started my career in the software business, working in financial software, and I'd look at the customer base, and I could pretty much find customers on every single release of every single product that we'd ever put out. I think there are a number of compelling pieces with 4.1. Obviously there's been a big investment that's gone into the quality of that platform, and you heard about the story with 3M this morning, with 10,000 live users across that application. There are many other examples of that. But again, the investments that have gone into that in terms of making it a big data release, the ability to deploy different types of models. We saw the demo this morning in terms of being able to flip the Design Studio application out of an analysis rollup model. All of those things I think are extremely compelling. They're all designed to enable our customers to meet the needs that we see out in the market, right? Getting more and more people engaged in using analytics, doing that in a controlled way, reducing the cost of ownership associated with running and deploying those applications. So we've got to get the basics right and then give them the tools to then really find and define use cases that add more value to their business.
Well, James, once again, thank you for coming in. It's great to talk with you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned with asugnews.com. We've got more great interviews coming up live from SBOUC 2013. And thank you very much for watching.